knocks the Avocats on the floor. Oh my God! Gigantic shot with. Look at the land, he got it!
He can land the hook! Oh my gosh, the rope comes out at level 4, 5, and 6!
Flash in, it's going to be triple kill now. Can Sheep go down? Stolen away by Cop. Boy, can you go for the Quadra? And it is huge for Boy.
Welcome to Day 2, Week 9 of the North American League Championship Series Spring Split, coming to you live in front of an audience hungry for more League of Legends action. Hello, I'm Rivington Bism III, and with me is Sam, Kobe, Hartman, Kensler. Sam, how you doing for Day 2?
Also hungry, Riv.
Yes, also hungry indeed. We start our coverage at the top. Team Solo Mid and Cloud9 remain in the driver's seat with their playoff spots secured. Now it's just about fine-tuning as they chase a trip to Paris for All-Stars.
Yeah, Bjergsen's return to TSM was as smooth and seamless as his time away, actually. They had an easy win over XCG and held on to that first-place position that they've had sole possession of since Week 2. As for Cloud9, they continue to play like a well-oiled machine, even after their weekend in Katowice. Medios even says that he picked up a couple of tricks from watching the Asian teams play Kazakhs.
That he did. And while TSM and Cloud9 are business as usual, Evil Geniuses had a rough start with their temporary roster.
Yeah, I mean, while Snoopé, Yellow Pete, and Crepo are out, Evil Geniuses brought in ThinkCard, Ken, and Robert X. Lee to sub. Counterlogic Gaming, though, took them out in a quick 32-minute game, and they face another big opponent today. Cloud9 going to be a challenge.
Yeah, not going to be any easier there. We've seen in the LCS that any team can turn their season around at any time, and Curse is the latest to start climbing their way up the standings.
Yeah, Curse pulled out a close win against Dignitas to share 4th place with Dignitas. And now Curse is actually 4-1 since picking up Bunny Fufu, so things are definitely looking up for them.
And after yesterday's LCS action, the hashtag LCS Big Plays was blowing up. Up first, Afromu showing again that you can support with style as he saves Link from the ace in the hole. Punk Good Guy says, Afromu jumping in for the save. What a play. From EG versus CLG, here's number 3.
Now the jungler's down, though. Even though Zed's back up, jungler dead.
Yep.
There's no threat of the smite steal. Oh, Link! Afro with the Superman flash.
I'm going to base,
Link,
okay?
you should base.
Yep.
Can you home guard or what?
Yeah, I can home guard.
Yo, we should defend. Guys. Okay.
Help.
Oh. I'll go up. I'll just go up. Yo, man, I got your back.
I got your back, man. That's the closest thing that you need to have with team game. Oh, up next, it's on me. Up next is Robert X. Lee surviving an Evelyn gank from Dexter. This is from Bake It X. Robert X. Lee feeding cupcakes on Eve like a boss. To Eve like a boss. From the same game, here's your number 2.
Lucky! Let's kick! Right kick! Hate spike! Coming in with some more damage! Cupcake!
The trap!
A cupcake!
Friends on the trap!
Oh no! He comes up big with the Yordle trap! It's not even a Yordle! He modified it to work! And he gets his own blue buff!
Those modified Yordle traps will get you every time.
Gotta watch up. Finally, we have a crash curse in chemistry. Quaz being bailed out by his teammates. Scott Chalmers 7 says, Quaz lives. Boy and I will dominate for the save. From Curse versus Dig, here's your number 1.
If they want to win this game. Uh-oh. That's a nice
big
start.
hit. Actually throws down the ultimate there as well. The flash was used to get out of that engagement, but Quaz finds himself in a bad spot. He does have dominate just on the backside. I don't know if it's going to help, though. They get down into Crumbs. He thinks he can do the damage. Crumbs gets the safeguard over, blocking some of the execute. Wild growth from over the wall. Quaz is going to live. The lifesteal. Is it good enough? And it is. Dominating the rest of the team. Come in as the cavalry.
A couple of bloopers in that one, too, there.
Indeed. When there was always a good play, there's got to be a blooper on the other end. And be sure to keep an eye out for today's huge moments as well. Share them with us at LOL Esports and use the hashtag LCS Big Plays. Now, let's take a look at our NA LCS standings brought to you by the new season of Game of Thrones.
All right, so Team Solo Mid holds on to first place. In second, it's Cloud9 with 17 wins and 4 losses. And then sitting at number 4, in third place, actually.
Yeah.
4 games back,
4 games
CLG.
back. Indeed. Then it is a tie for fourth place with Curse and Dignitas, and holding in sixth is Coast.
And they're followed by Evil Geniuses in 7th, and 1 game back in 8th is XDG.
And the NA LCS standings are volatile and always vulnerable to rapid change, a lot like the power plays in King's Landing. In both places, it's best to know what's coming. So here's an exclusive look at the new season of Game of Thrones.
There's light and love and joy. Darkness, evil and fear. Eternally at war.
You can see all the carnage from the Seven Kingdoms on April 6th, but you can see the bloodshed on the Rift in just a few moments. It's going to be starting with TSM versus Dignitas.
And then Coast will try to stop their 5-game slide when they face off against CLG. And after that, XCG takes on the Surging Curse.
And we will cap off our LCS day with Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses. Then be sure to keep your browser where it is for day 2 of the North American Challenger Series semifinals. It kicks off immediately following our LCS coverage. As always, we want to know who you think will win today's matches as well. Head over to lolesports.com, click on schedule, week 9, and make your predictions.
While you're there, click on the tickets link to secure your spot in our live studio audience.
And we'll let you in on a little secret. We've taken all our forbidden scrolls of league knowledge and thrown them online for your enjoyment, as well as, stats, box scores, VODs, and all our games from this season. lolesports.com is your guide to everything LCS. Now let's send it over to Freak and Jat at the Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Riv. Hey guys, I'm David Freak Turley here. With me is Joshua Jat Leisman, and we're going to be joined by CLG's Link and Coast Shifter, the mid laners for these guys, up on our second match of the day. I want to get your thoughts, first of all, on the matchup against each other. Link, we'll start with you. How you feel about Coast?
I think Shifter is their strongest player on the team, so props to him. So we're going to be trying to focus him, and for the most part, I think following that, it's Zion, right? So I feel like they're the backbones of the team. So we try to just go into the game and we try to play consistent because I think CLG can out-rotate pretty much every team in LCS except for TS7 and Cloud9.
All right, so Shifter, Link's talking about CLG being very sort of teamwork-based. What's going to be your big advantage here in this matchup?
We're going to have to look to snowball the laning phase right now because if you see our games recently, our shot calling is a bit off right now. We're a bit flustered, and I want to say on tilt, but we're a bit confused as what we should be doing. So we're still trying to find our place in the game, and so easiest place to start off is obviously the laning phase.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys obviously have both had a fair bit of success in the mid lane at least this year. Has the game, do you think, changed a little bit between Season 3 and now the 2014 season as far as your individual impact on the mid lane?
I feel like some heroes have changed, obviously, but for the most part, there's a resurgence of the old champions in Season 3 that's coming back into play. So it's kind of like a throwback, and it's nice to see because it's like, hey, I used to play those champions.
Yeah, back to your comfort.
Yeah, now I get to play them again. So with all the new champions coming out, like Lulu and all that, you have to learn them. But now it's like, hey, you get to play some old champions again.
Shifter?
I don't know. It kind of sucks because with these safe mids coming back in like Orianna, Lulu, it does leave little counterplay to such assassins like Zed and stuff. So I don't know. My champ pool feels a little restricted right now because mid lane right now is a lot of long range safe kind of pokey AP mages, and I definitely prefer assassins, but it takes a lot to adjust to.
Okay, so actually I want to press you on what you talked about a little bit ago. You said your team's trying to find their footing with shot calling and whatnot. I know in your match yesterday, the video before it, WizFusion said he was trying to put on more of a shot calling role himself and try to force the rotations, not give away dragons. Is that working for you guys? Is WizFusion talking more, or how's shot calling going?
It's not just Wiz that's trying to. It's all of a team as a whole that we're trying to just learn the game better. Knowledge is power in this game, and if you don't know what to do, everyone has to know what to do, not just one person to lead the team.
Okay.
And this has been a fairly long season for you guys as well. How's the team now shaping up since Dexter's been there for a while? Are there any things that are changing within the team since his first few weeks after arriving?
We're just trying to make everything more like perfect in a sense. Like we all know what we have to do. And so an LCS is like the best time to practice because in scrims you can only practice shot calling to like a certain extent because not everyone's mind is really into it. Like sometimes you'll have like a good day of scrims, but sometimes you'll just have like a terrible day of scrims where nobody really wants to talk at all. So, but when it comes to LCS, that's when like things get real and it's like everything matters on the line, and that's when everybody starts talking. So that's like the best time to practice your shot calling, and that's where me, Afro, and Dexter get the most practice from. But not only do we have to practice our shot calling, we also have to be aware of our laning and keep on top of our mechanics.
And of course, it's working pretty well for you guys. 3rd place, 4 games away from 4th, so you guys got a pretty good lock in that spot. Now, later today, we're going to be taking a closer look at mind games. We want to include you guys in our Twitter question of the day. We're going to ask our audience, which North American LCS player would you be most intimidated to face on the Rift and why? And so I want to ask you guys if there's any player that you're intimidated fighting against.
I think playing versus Hai and Bjergsen are they're the most fun and most challenging, but it's not because like they're also like individual players that they're strong, but it's because they also have the backup from the jungler. So they have like Odd One and Meteos. So that's why I don't really like playing versus them because I know that it's not always going to be a 1v1. It might be like a 1 versus 2 or a 2v2 scenario.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say Bjergsen and Hai as well for the exact same reason. 1v1, you should probably never be scared, honestly. If you have that mental block on a certain player, then like you're going to play scared the entire time. You're never going to ever win the matchup. You go even at best. But yeah, it's a mind game with the jungler. If you don't know when the jungler's going to be there. If the jungler's like over-pressuring your jungler, then how are you ever going to 1v1 your laner?
Yeah, well, thank you guys very much for your responses and for the pregame interview. And for the rest of you guys, I'd like you to send us your answers to the @LLEsports question. Tweet @LLEsports, throw on the hashtag LCS, and we'll be reading our favorite answers later in the show.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll get to our first game of the day, TSM versus Dignitas. The North American LCS continues after this.